shook the shit out of me. What a dooski. It's your boy Fail34, and today I'm here with my movie review for Hereditary. This is the latest film coming out of A24 and Palm Star Media and Windy Hill Pictures. This is a movie that you may have heard of. You've been seeing some tweets here and there about it, potentially praising the film or talking about it being a really big horror film and one of the best horror films that people have seen in a very long time. I just got out of seeing the movie and I am fucking shook to my core. Anyway, let's just talk about the film for a second. This is going to be spoiler free in case you want any spoilers. I usually, how I write my reviews is I tend to write out all my thoughts pretty, you know, how I feel about everything on a Word document and ready to go. But I'm honestly just, it's like 1:40 in the morning. I gotta wake up in like 4 hours to make my hero reaction video. But I really just wanted to talk about this movie spoiler free as possible and just let you guys know what I thought about it. Let's just talk about what the movie is. Pretty much the story for this one is when Ellen passes away, her daughter's family begins to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry. The more they discover, the more they find themselves trying to outrun the sinister fate they seem to inherit. Let's just talk about this movie quickly. Hereditary was freaking incredible. This might have been not only one of the best horror films, because I see a lot of people saying it's the best horror film. This might have been one of the best films that I've seen in a very, very long time. Just, it's so out there. By the end of the movie, it just leaves you really just, I left that theater distraught, but not in a bad way. And I think that speaks to how effective of a film this is. So anyway, let's just talk about some of the good things. I don't want to be too scatterbrained. That's why I like writing notes. Anyway, Hereditary. So first thing I want to say is acting in this movie was incredible. From the leads here, we had Alex Wolff as Peter Graham, the son. He is, I'm not too familiar with his work apart from Jumanji, the latest movie, and I thought he did such a great job in this movie. He's, you know, the character that he's playing, he just does a solid job. A high schooler kid to, you know, to slowly transitioning as the film goes on, and just the level of emotion that he was able to bring out was just phenomenal. Same with the rest of the cast. Toni Collette and Gabriel Byron, they all have moments to shine throughout this thing. And this is a really, again, I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible. This is like a really fucking depressing movie, at least for me. I found it to be so sad but grounded, and it just felt so real, and I just really appreciated that coming out of this movie. I hadn't seen a trailer. I hadn't even read a synopsis. All I knew this was a scary movie by A24, a company that I'm very proud of. Actually, you know what's funny? I actually wore my A24 film. Maybe subconsciously I was wearing it when I went. This isn't sponsored by A24, but if A24 you're watching this, holla at your boy. I was just amazed by how grounded and gritty and how they went about telling this story. It was just phenomenal. The actors here did such a good job, especially Toni and Alex. Like I said, they all have their moments to shine to really just give some great performances. But I mean, oh my god, Toni, the mom, she did such a good job. And then I'm really like at a loss for words after watching this movie. I'm gonna say top notch, some great performances all around from the entire cast. Something that really stood out to me was, because I was kind of going in this thing expecting it, like I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be a horror film, but it honestly is a really well done, executed just film. It's because the way I'll describe this thing is, it's for me at least how I felt. It was like two different movies together, but it works. Okay, that carries over to the next. So I'd say the first movie that this is a family drama, like a really sad family drama where a lot of shit's happening in a family's life. That's what you're watching. You're watching this slow buildup of just all these really sad instances, and just where these people are at. A lot of, you know, visuals. Oh, another thing is this film is very visual heavy. There's a lot of, you know, imagery that they kind of allude to things and they show, whether it's hidden in things or not, but there's also a lot of, you know, graphic imagery as well. I'm not going to touch upon that too much, but yeah, again, this is very, I felt this was two different movies that connected, that kind of made it work. Drama, very sort of sad, tense, real, grounded sort of story about that deals with a lot of real life things, death, depression, you know, just I think mental health and stuff like that impacted me, just watching that sort of story being told in such in a horror movie in such a unique way that really was such, like, the way I would describe this film was like an unconventional horror film. I guess I wouldn't even really kind of call it a horror. I guess I would call it a horror film, but like an unconventional one, I'd say. And then it's in the other half of the movie where it becomes this sort of like really unique, you know, horror movie that just fucking chills you for how they really set up this movie with what they do. of course, in this sort of movie, you're wondering, oh, if it scared you, then there's got to be a lot of jump scares. I'm not going to say anything, but the way that they scare you in this movie is very, it's something else. Some of the techniques that they do to scare you, ladies and gentlemen, some of the techniques that they use to scare you in this film, or get you like sort of your heart going, or to get you like invested in the film. Oh my God, this was some of the shit you see in this is fucked. Just plain and simple, it's fucked. How I would say is I was left shook to the core by the time I left this movie. Like, I had a headache. I had to talk to my friend who I watched it with. I was like I had to look at her and just make sure she felt the same way as I did, because I was shook, guys. Straight up distraught. But acting, cinematography, directing was so good. Director, who I think I read was his debut, I'm not too sure, but Ari Aster is the director behind this thing. He's done a bunch of other shorts, sort of twisted things like this as well, horror stuff. I haven't personally seen any of his previous work, but what I will say is, if you end up seeing this review, hats off to him, because this was such a well-directed, executed story that was both written and directed by him, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just so freaking excellent. Take it as you will, as a grain of salt, whether you guys want to watch this movie or not. I don't know if it's for everyone. Like, there was a point when something happened in this movie, I was like, I'm in for a freaking nutty ride. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I hope you guys get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. The story for this thing, I kept guessing what was going to happen. I was trying to play, you know, plant seeds and ideas. You know what was really cool though? There's a lot of imagery, I'd say. And I started to pick up on it in certain instances. And I thought maybe it was leaning towards this, and then nope, something completely different happens in the film. Some twists and turns, and you don't know what's really going on sometimes, but this was a nuts. Moreover, I thought it was an incredible film and story, executed so well, that made such an effective, unique movie-going experience for myself. I had a full packed theater, and all of us were shook. People were like, you know, like getting scared. They were kind of throwing out comments, because just how like kind of like, you're like, what? I know I was yelling like, what the F was going on, because of just how crazy things, how these events were happening. In the end though, I'm gonna say Hereditary was an unconventional horror film that really brought something different and unique to the table, that I highly would recommend you checking out if you're interested in seeing something different. Even if you're not into scary movies, if you're into like, there's some not necessarily scary, but just disturbing, and it just really gets to you, and it really gets underneath your skin a bit. A fantastic movie with amazing with top-notch acting, directing, and cinematography, and just storytelling with what they did here. Amazing stuff. I would highly recommend. I'm gonna give Hereditary like a 9.5 out of 10. This movie fucking shook the shit out of me. Anyway though, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video. As always, if you enjoyed this one, then be sure to leave a hot like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, if you enjoyed this one, then be sure to click the little bell button next to the subscribe button, so you can check out my other videos when they drop. It's the first movie review I've done in a while, and in this new different setting. So just let me know your thoughts. Again, I hope this is not an example of how my normal reviews go. If you guys want to check those out, go look back in my backlog. I'll have much more, you know, concrete sort of, you know, things that I'm saying, but I just wanted to give you sort of like a raw interpretation of how I felt right after coming out of this movie, because I honestly am like, my head's throbbing just because of like how kind of shook I am. But some of the things left me like, this movie wasn't so like, there were some of like the emotional things in this movie that you wouldn't expect that happened, that really left me like teary-eyed, almost like, holy shit, like it really impacted me. So that I guess that kind of shows just how effective of an actual film this is. But anyway though, with that being said, this is my review for Hereditary. Fantastic movie. I would highly recommend it. One of the best horror films I've seen ever, and one of the best movies I've seen in a very, very long time. Anyway though, with that being said, y'all, that's it for this review. I'll see you next time. Take care.